Alright, welcome back to another Bedwars video. Before the real intro, I'm just gonna say thank you for the support on the win streak video. It's pretty surreal to have to reply to like 5 comments every cut. Usually a video is good when it gets 1 comment, so 50 is pretty, well, I guess like unheard of for me. After this video, I'm gonna update the win streak video actually, because I was kind of just like blind and forgot about a billion win streaks. So I'll do that. But after that, for celebrating 100 subs, I said I'd do something in the last video and I hit like 150 as I'm talking right now. So whatever the most like comment is, as long as it's like reasonable, I'll do it. I can't really think of anything to say right now, so I'm just gonna go into the regular intro. Alright, in this video, I'm gonna be talking about every stats account with over 500 stars and 75 fkdr or 200 stars and 200 fkdr. And this has never been done before. I mean, almost nothing like stats wise has ever been done before. It's a pretty untapped market. Most of these accounts are like semi-known, or a couple of people know them. Emphasis on most, by the way, but nobody has ever like grouped these accounts into like a video or a list or anything. So this is, like the last video, new information. I'm gonna be going through legit and not legit accounts and talking about if they're legit and why. But after that, I'm going to be ranking every legit stats account and ranking them by index, which is a pretty reliable method of measuring stats, and we're going to find out the best stats account with high stars. So let's get into it. I'm going to be talking about these accounts from highest star to lowest star. So first, we have DaVinci with 1600 stars and 135.9 core mode fkdr. I think we all know about DaVinci. They haven't played in like years, and they got like semi kinda carried for an 18-18 win streak. Even though contextually this isn't the most impressive account, from a purely stats point, it's like really insane. Again, I don't think I have to say this, but they are legit and there's really just like not much to say about them. Next up, we have MageGee, I think, with 1342 stars and 80.7 fkdr. MageGee is a kind of known player. They've played with pretty good people such as like OO Hugo, and they've played a lot with a YouTuber named Purp. That guy, the guy on the screen right now, alright? But there's actually a pretty big piece of evidence against him, because one of the background checks I do is check the guild that these accounts are in, because if they're in like a big cheater guild, it kind of like gives it away. And weirdly enough, they're in a guild called Kekuadar, and this is a really big cheater guild with tons of cheaters and also some legit people, but mostly a big amount of cheaters. Yeah, I don't really know what's up with that. I'm still gonna say this legit because this isn't like a defining piece of evidence, but I'm gonna keep my eye on them. Alright, next up we have Legitimate with 1296 stars and 154.4 fkdr. Legitimate is a really impressive account and also a really good player. If you're really like part of the Bedwars community, you probably know this guy is legit, nothing really to question about him. Next up is Uncle Fiku with 1087 stars and 108.5 fkdr, and this guy is a pretty known cheater, or at the very least booster. He has a ton of really good stats accounts that aren't that legit. Luckily he's kind of open about it, so it's not really like a challenge to prove it. Still impressive even if cheated, because he didn't get banned, I guess. Alright, next on this list is Bombies with 998 stars and 111.7 fkdr, and Bombies is honestly one of the most known players on this list, probably the most known player on this list. What's sad is that they used to be like 300 fkdr, bro. That used to be so much better. Or not better, just like better stats. I don't think she even ever cared about like the pure stats of this account, because she plays a lot of solos, but this was like by far the best stats account, like double the index of what's now the best stats account. They were at one point arguably the best player, probably easily top 5, so even though they're not the best anymore, they're still like a staple of the community. Next up is Casualism with 995 stars and 134.6 fkdr, and this guy is, well, just like a known cheater. What's weird is he just like toggles back on people. With this crazy of a stats account, that's like an insane thing to do, because he could get so easily banned, bro. He literally just like is blatant. At least it makes it easy to find out that he's not legit at all. Next up is Zethia with 872 stars and 87.6 fkdr, and it's a little confusing at first because the activity on this account is pretty confusing. That didn't make sense, but you know what I mean. It took, well, well, not actually that much digging, but it took a little tiny bit of digging to find out that they're actually Lella's Panda's alt. And not just that, they're a sold account to like 1 billion people. They pass it around more than like Lily Blue or whatever the fuck her name is, I don't even know. If you know, you know. So even if they are legit, account sharing in my eyes isn't legit, because like it's not your own work, it's a bunch of people's work. So they're gonna be considered not legit for this video. Next on this list is QT Spoopy with 815 stars and 100.1 fkdr. And this is the only current player that's legit, at least, and my personal favorite. They actually are the only people that make like videos about like grinding stats, and they just recently hit 100 fkdr, which is pretty crazy for not having obfuscation bypass. So show them support. I mean, I'm like a way smaller channel than them, but like show them support. And yeah, even though they're not that high up, they're still contextually like a top 3 most impressive stats account, so good on them. Next up is Lipin with 762 stars and 79.3 fkdr. This is the only account I'm still kind of on the fence on, because there's really nothing to disprove this guy, but there's nothing to like say he's legit either. He's not like a well-known player. He plays with like the most random nons ever, but he does have a 170 Silas win streak, which on Salazar's leaderboard would put him at number 7. So if they are legit, then that's pretty impressive. Next up is Unsnipeable with 735 stars and 176.3 fkdr. The challenge of this guy isn't even finding out if he's legit, it's finding him in the first place, because I used high stats to find these accounts, but they're not the most reliable for the like names for some reason. They're like outdated or some shit. When you search up Unsnipeable on Cubify or like any like stats finder besides high stats, it just like doesn't work, or I guess it does, but it's like not the guy. So what I did is I went to a name finder and searched up all the names that have been named Unsnipeable at one point, and a lot of these guys like just don't exist on Cubify. Cubify's like really buggy, I guess, but it didn't take much digging to find out that But yeah, as I was saying earlier, they are not legit. They actually have a 2000 win streak, which is probably why they even have this fkdr in the first place. So they're not gonna count. Next up is one laser, whatever. This guy is 722 stars and 98.1 fkdr, and legit. Back in the day, they were a pretty known player. They played with like Braden and like other people, I think. Not really much to say about this guy. He doesn't play anymore, so that's too bad, I guess. Next on this list is Crep with 694 stars and 93.2 fkdr, and this guy is, well, a known cheater. They actually got a pretty high win streak. I'm not sure if they cheated, but it was pretty hard boosted. Nevertheless, it is still impressive. So next on the list is Kokoa Chan with 676 stars and 124.9 fkdr, and it did take a bit of digging to find out like anything on this guy. They're a Japanese player who plays with Teruhashi, who's another Japanese player who's really high star, but they also like abuse the slot machine. What pushed me over the edge to call them legit is they got a vouch from a player named Worry, who is part of the Amigos guild, and that's like a known guild. So I guess that's good enough to push them over the edge and call them legit. Next on the list is Retuning with 664 stars and 232 fkdr, and I thought they were for sure legit for the longest time. They have like videos of him grinding 3 win streaks. They have a lot of players backing them up. Like they had everything, and I thought it was just like a really insane stats alt. But recently I was just like on a random alt talking with Legitimate and Crep and like Lobby 1, and we were actually talking about stats alts, and I was like, oh yeah, Retuning's pretty good, and they're like, oh yeah, that guy cheated, like right at the end, and I was like, bro. So yeah, apparently they're just like not legit, which is pretty sad. Next on this list is Snowy Hazard with 617 stars and 118.6 fkdr. This guy did also take a bit of digging. They're in a guild with Crawdead, who's a pretty trustworthy player, but what basically made me say he's legit is he placed number 28 in the doubles tournament, which is like pretty high. It's even above Bombies, and he didn't get banned, which if he's not legit is like crazy, but that's just like not gonna happen if you're not legit, so he's probably legit. Next on this list is Beat BT, that guy. 604 star, 127 core mode FKDR. He's better known by his like old IGN and Tires XD. They are a ranked Bedwars player, which doesn't actually mean they are legit, since a lot of ranked Bedwars players just like cheat in their free time for no reason. But if you watch their videos, they're like a really good player, and I'm gonna come to the conclusion that they probably could get these stats legit, so it's more likely that they are legit than not. Next on the list is Zooey, or That My Bad, with 591 stars and 97.6 FKDR. If you can't tell by my voice, this is a voiceover because I forgot to mention this guy in the original video. I don't know how I missed him for like 2 days of editing, but I guess it doesn't matter. Zooey is another one of those accounts where it shows up as Zooey on high stats, but on every other stats finder, it shows up as some random non. At first, I thought they got like stat wiped or something, but it turns out you can't get your rank removed even if you get stat wiped, and Zooey has MVP plus, so it's not possible. Then I went through a name finder and I found some guy that looked promising. They were semi-known in the tracking server, they had MVP plus, but the problem is that they didn't have enough network level, because the Zooey on high stats had a black plus and this Zooey didn't have enough network level. And after that red herring, I eventually found my guy who had the name Zooey for like a month years ago. I don't know why they show up as Zooey on high stats, but they should probably like get that fixed somehow. Anyways, it turns out that they're a sold account, so all that for nothing. Next on this list is Devil's Maid, or Saffron Enjoyer, or Waffle Cat 43, with 552 stars and 104 FKDR. And this guy was pretty hard to find. Again, to even just like find his stats, I had to find his guild and search up like everybody in his guild to even just find him. About that, he's in a pretty big cheater guild, which at first made me certain he was not legit, but they played with Dewyer in a video of them like playing publicly in like public games, and Dewyer would not boost, he would not risk another ban, alright? But, he's blacklisted on the tracker server, and that's 2 pieces of evidence against him versus 1 for him. So I'm gonna take the decision and just say that they're not legit, alright? They kinda could be, but for the sake of the video, I'm just gonna say they're not. I'm not gonna risk it. Sorry if you are legit, but just like get a better reputation, I guess. Next on the list is Curtis with 533 stars and 192.2 FKDR. And it seems like this guy's legit at first, and then you look at his win streak and it's 1,100 with like no proof that it's legit at all. So it's probably not legit, and I'm gonna count it as not legit. That's all for 500 stars and 75 FKDR. And now we're gonna go into the 200 stars and 200 FKDR. And again, we're gonna go by stars, so highest star first, and that is Exoye, or now Louis, with 440 stars and 453.3 FKDR. And this is a known cheater. They're in a big cheater guild, and they're also pretty notorious for boosting. Yeah, I mean, they're open cheater, not much to say about it. Next is White Male Gaming with 427 stars and 416.2 FKDR. Same deal, really. They're a known cheater, and they also dissed me in Lobby 1 once. I don't know, I just wanted to point that out. They're like annoying. I don't like them. Yeah, they also boost pretty hard. They just do like everything around the world to not be legit. They're not banned though, so good on them, I guess. Alright, next on the list is Ramadan Gaming with also 427 stars and 284.6 FKDR. They're better known as Solo Bruno, and this guy plays with a bunch of closet cheaters, especially Casualism. Gotten a lot of good win streaks, not legit by the way, but still good win streaks. And honestly, these like cheated accounts with 200, 304 FKDR are like not as impressive, but still extremely impressive, because even if you're just like closeting or boosting or whatever, getting that high FKDR no matter what tier you are is like insane, bro. No need to glaze, but I just had to say that. Next on this list is Metality with 373 stars and 234.1 FKDR. This guy is the first like actually interesting account. Basically, if you look him up like anywhere, just like nothing pops up. Like he's like off the grid basically. I had a deep search like Google to find anything of him. The 2 things he appears in is Salazar's win streak leaderboard. He got a doubles win streak and a solos win streak, and Salazar is known to like have a couple cheaters on the leaderboard. But the other piece of evidence, or the other piece of anything of him existing, is when he got a speedrun time with a bunch of legit players for 4s. And him playing with all these legit players makes me think he is probably legit. And also, I feel like if he wasn't legit, it'd be a little more obvious, because most of these not legit people are like really obvious about it. So he's legit. Next on this list is MageGee OG, or Angry Dodo Bird, with 340 stars and 218.1 fkdr. This guy did take a bit of digging to find out who he even like was. One interesting thing about this guy is he has like tons of really good fkdr accounts, like almost a dozen. And what gave it away that he cheated is one of his alts was marked as not legit, and another random guy from like the tracking server said the same on his main account, which means he probably boosts like pretty hard. And the next on this list is not Fiku, with 321 stars and 236.6 fkdr. Same guy as Uncle Fiku from earlier. He has, again, like tons of really good fkdr accounts. Not much to say, he's just like straight up not legit at all. Next on this list is Jobby Lovin' Yash, with 308 stars and 236.7 fkdr. At first, I couldn't find anything on this guy, but I eventually found him playing with a different 300 fkdr player, and that ended up being a dead end. But one of the last things I do is a guild search, and they're in the guild with that 300 fkdr guy and a bunch of other known cheated stat cells, which means they're likely not legit. Next on this list is Kirats, with 296 stars and 220.4 fkdr. And Kirats is a really known legit player. He has the highest obfuscation bypass win streak and the highest win streak since like, what was it, like 2024 or something. Nothing really to question about him. He's legit. Next on the list is Rizland, with 294 stars and 200.5 fkdr, and this is actually a beamed account, which is pretty funny. Like if you're just that good of an account and you just get beamed. Also, one of their alts is marked as like a blatant b-hopper, so beaming is technically account trading, so even if he was legit, I'd probably have to like mark him for account trading technically, and I'm happy I don't have to do that since it's likely that he cheated in the first place also. Next on the list is Hello93281, with 281 stars and 219.7 fkdr. This guy, better known as Vlays, has like 400 win streaks and a 500 win streak, but he played with Lake City, who's a known booster. He's also in a guild with some known cheaters, so he's pretty obviously not legit. Next on the list is Swaxy, with 276 stars and 229 fkdr. Swaxy is a known legit player. He has a 700 win streak, and he's a pretty known ranked Bedwars player. He's a pretty old gen player. He doesn't play anymore. If he did play nowadays, he wouldn't have 229 fkdr. Not really much to say about this guy, but it's pretty impressive to be legit at that fkdr. Next on the list is Poop Stink, with 251 stars and 3,214 fkdr. And surprisingly, not much really comes up when I search him, but he is known for like hard boosting minemen elo, and for that, and also having a 3000 fkdr with like nobody knowing who you are, it's definitely a known cheater. Like, I'm not giving them the benefit of a doubt with 3000 fkdr. Next on the list is 999 Ducky, with 239 stars and 229.1 fkdr. And it doesn't take a genius to notice that this guy is Ducky. Ducky is not legit. End of story. Next on this list is Dare, with 237 stars and 1030.2 fkdr, and not 1900 like they used to have. Yeah, this guy's just like a cheater. I'm just gonna start like running through these cheaters because there's a lot of them. Next on this list is Son of a Tilt, with 236 stars and 278.6 fkdr. I'm gonna give you a sec to see if you can figure out who this guy is. Yeah, Tilting Sun. You might be a little stupid if you couldn't figure that out, but at the same time, I couldn't figure that out. I had to search it up, and yeah, this guy's Tilting Sun. This is the highest fkdr for someone over 200 stars. Good on them. Next on this list is Neon Cat PvP XD, or Zoohoo. These names are really shit, by the way. I'm pissed off. 228 stars, 351.3 fkdr, and not legit at all. Next on the list is Avum, with 218 stars and 560.4 fkdr. He is very likely not legit, but even if he was, he is account trading, which is banned. So either way, he's not allowed on this list and counted as not legit. Next on this list is Nudie. Whatever, man. It's Netty. 217 stars, 597.9 fkdr. Netty is not legit. Mind-blowing, I know. Finally, last person on this list, XX Bart. Bro, what are these names? XX Bardella Dude 93XX, 202 stars, 235.4 fkdr, and same guy as MageGee OG, which is a cheater, so not legit. And that's the list. Now that I've gone through every account, it's time to rank them by index to see the best stats account with high star. At number 14, we have Lipin with 762 stars, 79.3 fkdr. Their index is 4.7 million, which even though it's extremely high, it's pretty low compared to everybody else in this list. At number 13, we have Laser, however you say it, 722 stars, 98.1 fkdr, and he has a 6.9 million index, which is pretty impressive, although he also is like an old gen player who played a long time ago, so for his time, that's like honestly just like average. At number 12, we have QT Spoopy with 815 stars and 100.1 fkdr, and their index is 8.1 million. Again, he's the only current player on this list that's legit, so it's really impressive to see him hit 100 fkdr with obfuscation. Like, that's pretty crazy. At number 11, we have Snowy Hazard with 617 stars and 118.6 fkdr. This guy has 8.6 million index, which for someone who has only 600 stars is pretty crazy. At number 10, we have Maki _ 1342 stars, 80.7 fkdr, 8.7 million index. Maki again, I'm still not entirely sure of the legitimacy through that like guild thing, but I'm gonna put them on this list anyway because there's no hard proof of them not being legit, and they have 8.7 million index, which is double 14, so already we're like going up exponentially. At number 9, we have BT, however you say it, 604 star and 127.1 fkdr. They have 9.7 million index. They're a ranked Bedwars player, and if you watch their videos, they're completely capable of doing this, so even though there's not hard proof that they're legit, I'm still pretty certain that they are. At number 8, we have Kokoa-chan, 676 stars and 124.9 fkdr. This is the first person with over 10 million index at 10.5 million. Pretty underrated player, probably the best Japanese player, at least stats wise, and maybe even Asian as a whole. Honestly, I don't even know. I don't actually know the nationality of most of these people. At number 7, we have Bombies at 998 stars and 111.7 fkdr. They have 12.4 million index, but they used to have literally like 70 something. Again, kind of a fall from grace, but still, it's like 100 fkdr at almost 1,000 stars. That's still like an insane feat. At number 6, we have Keyrats with 296 stars and 220.4 fkdr, and they have 14.4 million index. Keyrats is one of the few current players, but I don't think they're playing this account much currently, which is why I didn't mention it earlier, but they're still really active in the community, and they also commented on my last video, so that's cool. Next is Swaxy with 276 stars, 229 fkdr, and just barely ahead of Keyrats at 14.5 million index. Swaxy was pretty established back in the day. They're one of the pioneers of threes, as they kind of just grinded it when it wasn't popular and like really easy. So it's not surprising that they got this high on the list. Still really impressive though. Son of a Tilt is next at number 4 with 236 stars and 278.6 fkdr with 18.3 million index. This is the lowest star on this list and one of the most impressive accounts, top 4 most impressive accounts actually. And again, 18.3 million index, which is already like over 4 times number 14, which just goes to show how exponential this list is. Number 3 is Metality at 373 stars and 234.1 fkdr, and they are the 3rd best stats account that's over 200 stars with 20.3 million index, the first to reach 20 mil. Even though they're this high up on the list, they're honestly not even that close to the top 2, because the top 2 is way above the rest. Speaking of which, number 2 is The Phone, 1600 stars, 135.9 fkdr, 29.5 million index, which again contextually isn't like amazing. Well, it is the best, but like if a lot of these players played back then, they'd have a lot higher. For the time, The Phone was one of the best players, but still, their account isn't as good at its number 1, legitimate 1296 stars, 154.4 fkdr, 30.9 million index. A lot of people saw this coming. Legitimate is, in my opinion, one of the best stats accounts ever. Currently the best stats accounts ever, but Bombies had like way better back in the day, as I've mentioned a lot in this video. Still, contextually, Legitimate is one of the most impressive accounts, if not the, and they win today's video as the best current stats accounts with a high star. Alright, that's the list. Thanks for watching. This probably won't do as good as the win streak video, since that video is kind of just like a freebie. I don't know how nobody's really done this type of content before, but I'll try to be the first, even though I still don't really know what's going on or how to make these videos. This is a more niche video for the real stats nerds, so I'll be happy if this gets just like 500 views maybe. Even that's probably a stretch, honestly. I'm still pretty proud of this video because it's like the same quality as the win streak video, but it's a decent amount longer. It's almost like twice as long actually, but I made it in like half the time, which I don't know how I even did this, bro. I just kind of like no-lifed it, but I guess that's a good thing because that means I'm improving. Also, if you're wondering, here's the full list, and also here's a list with all the cheaters. You can pause if you want. I probably got some stuff wrong in this video, especially some people's legitimacy, because I'll be honest, I'm not even really that good at researching. I just kind of like talk a big talk, but at the same time, I'm not making another one of these videos, at least with the like same exact thing. I'll do whatever, bro, but I'm not making this exact video again. But again, I'll do the win streak video after this, and then I'll do the most like comment on this video. It feels weird just like cutting it off here, so here's me speedrunning a transition. Alright, welcome to speedrunning a transition. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna speedrun it. I already have it like pre-built already, so it's faster than it usually would be. Don't blink. So first, we gotta blur this whole thing. And it doesn't matter how you blur it, because it's just like the whole thing really. Download it like that. And then I have all these numbers memorized, so this won't be like a time loss. And then I have to select it this time. I like mess it up sometimes. Just go here. And that should be good. Well, this is the hard part, alright? The gradient. If you get it even slightly off, it like ruins the whole run. You can just save it like that. I'm gonna go for a second gradient. This is like a good time. I need to select it. Minor time loss. Second gradient is always the hardest. I nailed it. Okay, this is like good pace. Damn, I didn't select it much. Like what? Okay. Now, oops. Now right here. Again, I already pre-built it, so it's like not even that hard. I'll just go. I have these memorized too, the numbers. So I'm just like go like that. Then I go for a 14 frame transition, like that. Copy paste the whoosh sound effect, and then I wait till I finish my sentence. Okay. There's gonna be record time. Bam. All right, that was good. Let's watch it all the way. Damn. Let's watch it all the way now. Okay, well, it's lagging because I have OBS open, but like, I swear, it's good, guys. I mean, you already watched the video, so you've already seen that transition, but that was speedrunning transitions with me. I might even just like put this in the video because I have nothing else to put as the outro. So thanks for watching!